So I just watched the latest Christopher Nolan movie, Tenet, and to be honest, it was a mixed bag. It's easily one of the most anticipated movies of 2020, and there was a lot of hype and buzz surrounding its release. Tenet is Nolan's most expensive original project to date, with a production budget of about $225 million, so expectations were set very high. I am a big fan of Nolan's previous work, especially Inception, but this film didn't quite have the same magic for me. Let's start with the plot. The film follows an international agent tasked with preventing the end of the world, after learning that time inversion is possible and is being used for sinister purposes by a shadowy oligarch. In other words, it is very similar to a James Bond type narrative, but with elements of traveling back through time and reversing the flow of time. If all that sounds a bit confusing, well, it is. One of the main issues with the film is just how complicated and convoluted the story is. I understand that Nolan is using complex ideas and it's not meant to be easy to digest, but I think the same ideas could have been presented in a less messy way. Another problem many people have noted is that the dialogue is very hard to hear at some points in the movie. There are some scenes where characters are wearing gas masks, talking to each other and explaining important plot points, but all we hear is muffled conversation with overblown sound effects and a loud score all competing with one another. By no stretch of the imagination is this a bad film. As with Nolan's previous work, the set pieces, stunts, production design, casting and atmosphere are all fantastic and very immersive. The actors do a very good job and the world is rich with detail. However, the film doesn't quite grab your attention the way that Inception does. With Inception, you almost lose yourself in the world and the characters' motivations. But in Tenet, it always feels like you are just an observer, looking at what is happening but never being involved. Of course, my opinion could change. It's definitely a film that could reward repeat viewings due to its complex narrative structure and big ideas. Nolan has a lot of interesting themes and ideas, but Tenet feels like a mix of about 5 different movies that would be more comprehensible as separate projects. Personally, I would love to see Nolan go back to his roots and direct something smaller. Maybe with a smaller budget, but also with a more personal character focus. Cramming in many plot points and characters isn't always a good thing. Sometimes the most simple stories can be the most interesting, especially if someone like Christopher Nolan is directing. Tenet is big and bold, but it doesn't quite hit all the right notes. Thank you very much for watching the review. Leave a comment below saying what you thought of Tenet. See you next time.